Good morning, Mr. Raf.
Good morning to you.
You're welcome to Great Niger TV.
Yeah, great Niger. Thank you so much for inviting me.
On Arise News this morning, Aisha Buhari was asking the Igbos for forgiveness over Buhari brutality against Igbo people. So how is your reaction to this?
Yes, I was part and parcel of that program because I woke up this early in the morning and I started viewing Arise News and Aisha was clad in a black, sackcloth. That's what Bible call it. Sackcloth is a kind of garment put on by a woman or any woman whose husband dies. I don't know what I understand. So she was crying, woefully pouring out, her emotional heart, not even because of the demise of her husband, but because of the animosities, brutalities, and hostilities the Igbos went through during administration of her husband, Muhammad Buhari. Muhammad Buhari, over the years, immediately he assumed office at Aso Rock. The first national broadcast, Muhammad Buhari said to the Igbos, what does the Igbo man want again? That during Jonathan regime, that was 2015, that the Igbos were everywhere all over Jonathan's administration. What does the Igbo man need again? Because Buhari has virtually given the whole public position to the Fulanis, up to 96 federal appointments without observation of federal character. That's why he actually understood then that the Igbos are feeling bad and bitter. Even he has not given any position to the Southwesterners. Only few positions were given to the Yorubas, Adochino, and the rest of the Southwesterners. Nowhere in that administration could you feel an Igbo man, which was why Buhari's administration failed woefully. He failed. Yes, because he felt that the Igbos were feeling the pain. He said Igbo man should forget Biafra, that Ojukwu said so. I didn't know how. I did not know when. Nor did I know where Ojukwu said Igbos should forget Biafra. As if that was not enough. We were like the Ibe Ukachukwu, the Minister of State for Petroleum, is from Delta State, and we know the kind of controversy recently, evolved by Igbo Delta ancestry. They actually wanted, clear definition of what the Igbos means by an assertion that the Delta Igbos are from Anambra, Imo, Abia, Enugu, and the rest of southeastern states. And we know how it took us to, bring them to the, knowledge that their ancestries are traced to the Igbo land. We should see how far we had gone to convince Ikwere man to believe his Igbo nature. That he, Ikwere, is 100% Igbo, more Igbo than me, myself from Anambra State. It took us, painful, research and studies to convince Ikwere man whose heart and brain has already been destroyed by Wike's stupidity. Yes, Wike actually let the Ikweres know that they are far from Igbo ancestry. And we are the one that brought our Ikwere brothers together and actually give them enough conviction that they are all from Igbo land.
Do you think
and today, Ikwere man Mbata is the head of Ohaneze? That is the good fruit yielded by that kind of, let me say, consensus or, meeting we had together with our Ikwere brothers.
Do you think the Igbos would forgive Aisha Buhari on what she's asking for?
I think he's crying, and if you are a man that has wives or a wife, will actually look direct into her eyes. But we are having many questions. I know she's bereaved, and when someone approaches you for forgiveness, you should at least consider to do or act otherwise. And I believe that a woman's heart, how it bleeds when her husband, dies freshly. But what is giving me this kind of stony heart is that Buhari did not die today or yesterday. It has taken Aisha Buhari very, very long time to come out with this kind of rendition. I'm telling you and assuring you that I think the Igbos should consider some parts of Aisha Buhari's pleas. See, she is asking us to forgive, but how could we forgive when many Igbo youths at the Afiaruku community in Beku, Abia State, had gone to their early graves. They were sent to their early graves by Brutality, the chief of army staff, led military clique that actually went to Martin Nandekano's His Royal Highness Igbo Israel Palace and discreted it with blood of the innocent. They killed the youths, those faithful youths to Martin Nandekano. They are all his loyalists, even to the level of shooting his dog. Just imagine the kind of, brutality, wickedness these people, Nigerian military clique, under the watch of Buhari, perpetrated on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's palace. I'm telling you, excuse me, I'm telling you, we are going to consider Buhari's wife, but we need much reparation, reconciliation, and the compensation. Aisha Buhari could not just tell me that those women that lost their children, you could only just cry and beg and, kneeling down, and they actually, no, when it was happening, you did not come out to say anything. Now that it is too late, you are asking a woman that lost children, 3, 4, at a row to forget. Aisha Buhari, it isn't easy. I still have, considerate heart because I'm a man with wife to consider your plea. But I'm telling you that it is too hard to do that. It is too hard to do that. To forgive is divine. Divine is God. To err is human. Humans are just like animal, only that we are wiser than the animal. But we are all prone to make mistake. You see, Aisha Buhari, I think we had you. We are going to our mpukes, various Igbo mpukes, or Obu, or Obi, to consider. To have at least, let me say, meetings. We are going to converge, going to come together in gregarity, to actually deliberate on your plea. The Igbos are very good people in consideration, in hospitality, and when you talk about general benevolence, we are there. So with time, we are getting back to you. But one thing is that nothing can or ever will minimize the injustice and brutality meted on the Igbo youths during your husband's administration, and it began to look like genocidal killings on Igbo youths, and actually it is very, very shocking indictment, which was why over the weeks of previous months, the ICC, International Criminal Court, is closing on your husband, your fake husband, the late one that they brought, home, which of course is a film, fictitious and, let me say, superstitious.
But Mr. Ralph, some people were saying Buhari died long time ago. So what would you have to say about that?
There's something I'm saying now. Something I'm saying. Buhari we are talking about died February, March 2017. Aired by BBC. Aired by UK.com. Before the British supremacists and oligarchs that actually planned cloning of Buhari know it. BBC has said something. Queen Elizabeth had actually mourned and stayed or observed the moment of silence. Then exactly UK.com, an online social media establishment, has actually threw it on the news that Buhari died February, March 2017, and we all grabbed it as fast as possible. This is a broken bottle. I mean the news that has no repair, metaquaism. A broken bottle that has no metaquaism. When a news has actually come out from the horse's mouth, from the right source, there's no way you could retrieve it back.
So his wife knew about the death.
The wife knows. That's why he had altercation with the Mama Dauras, Tinubu's nephew, Buhari's nephew, at Asurok. They slugged it out with Aisha Buhari. When Mama Daura was about to marry for Abubakar from Niger, I mean the latest Buhari, that actually absconded, convincing Nigeria that he died. Yes, Zora, Aisha's daughter, in conjunction with Yusuf, Buhari's son, they fought Daura when Daura wanted to marry a wife for Buhari. Do you know why in 2019-18? Because Aisha Buhari, after the death of her husband, found out that the Fulani Janjaweeds had actually cloned somebody. to represent her husband. She could not near him. Over the months, over the years, Aisha was gapping up from this man because he wasn't her actually husband. That's why I'm telling you that Aisha knew that her husband died. And all of us that are into media, we know exactly a script Mazen Nandekano announced previously, presently is playing out. A well-written script by the Fulani Janjaweeds, and the whole Nigerians are thrown into mental obstruction. Why? Some reason, some don't reason well. But
Thank
we
you.
know the reality.
Thank you, Mr. Ralph.
You're welcome.